Welcome guys to this tutorial series where we are doing this animated human with the simulated clothes.
Now it's time to properly import the materials that we exported from Marvelous. So we can stay in the shading tab and in the material tab down here. The export we got from Marvelous Designer wasn't bad. We got the base color, we got the normal map, and we see basically what types of materials these clothes are supposed to have. However, the texture looks a bit flat and the top stitching looks quite two-dimensional. We will take it from this look to this look. Let's arrange the material indexes. The names that you see here currently are the names of the materials we used in Marvelous Designer, but those names may be a bit tricky to remember, so I will instead replace these names with what part they are used for. So for example, the denim is used for the jeans, so I will name this material to jeans. This is the tank top, and so on. In the bottom of the material index list, there are a bunch of materials that are just named material and then a number. All of those belong to buttons and zipper details. And I would like to use the same metal material for all of them. So what I will do is to delete all of them except for the upper one. So I click this minus here to remove. And then I will call the last one metal details. For the next step we're gonna do, you need the Node Wrangler. So if you haven't activated it, you go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons and type Node up here, and then you activate Node Wrangler. So this add-on will allow us to import the textures properly. Then we go to the jeans material and we select the image textures and the normal map and delete it. So what you can do now is to click the principal BSDF and then press Ctrl-Shift-T and open the folder where you saved all the textures. Then you can basically shift-click all these textures and then click this button, Principal Texture Setup. What this did is to automatically connect all your image textures to the principal BSDF. So you got your diffuse, the base color, the metallic, the roughness, the displacement and normal. And you also got the texture coordinate and mapping nodes, and everything looks good here, but still it doesn't look good in the viewport. And the reason for that is that we have this setting here, single image. And we need to modify this one and set it to UDIM tiles. And now you see the difference. And this has to be done for all the image textures. So we do it for the metallic, for roughness, for displacement, and for normal. So we can have a quick look at how the UDIM tiles differ from a normal image texture. So let's open our base color, this image texture in here. And when we zoom out, we can actually expand this window. Then we see that the image textures are lined up here. And these are the UDIM tiles that we exported from Marvelous Designer. So what we have done now is to update the jeans material, and we can already see now how the jeans became more defined and more detailed. And what we can do now is to copy this exact node setup, and then we can paste it into each of these material indexes. And that works due to that we have everything already UV unwrapped and linked to the UDIM tiles. So let's copy, go to the tank top, delete this, and then paste. Delete and paste. And repeat the step for all of them. So now we can have another look at our textures. So press Ctrl spacebar in the viewport to expand this view and zoom in a bit. And then we see that the textures are much more defined. But what's missing is the 3D feeling to the top stitching. So that is what we're gonna fix now. So we jump out of this maximized view. Since we have top stitching on the jacket, the tank top, the jeans and the collars, we will have to update all of them. But the jacket is the most visible one, so we can start with that one. So let's zoom in a bit. So what we're gonna do now is to import the top stitching displacement texture that we exported from Marvelous. So add an image texture, Shift A, image texture, and you find your displacement texture that you exported from Marvelous and select all of them. And then this automatically becomes UDIM tiles. We can use the same mapping into the vector. And then we want to mix this with the color from the original displacement. So we will add a mix color node. Plug the original into A and the new one into B. And we will not use the mix, but we will instead use the add function. And then this one goes into height. But the scale is a little bit too strong, so you can set 0.1, and now this is more reasonable. And now you really see the difference in the height here. So if we turn this one to 0, you have the original, and 0.5, and we have this more three-dimensional feeling. And you can even try setting it to 1 to really enhance it. And then the result of the mix node goes into the height of the displacement. And in my opinion, the scale is too high. I would set this one to 0.01, and then we have a more reasonable displacement. And if we're gonna do this the proper way, we will add also a bump node, plug the new top stitching into the height, and then we will take the normal from the normal map into the normal, and the normal from the bump node into the normal of the principal BSDF. And we can preview what is coming out from the normal map, and then we can preview what is going out from the bump map. And then you see this difference here, that the top stitching is added to the normals. And the strength of 1 is a bit extreme, so set the value to 0.5. And then we can go back to the principal BSDF. So now we have a displacement and a normal map that accounts for the top stitching. So we can copy the node group from the jacket, and then we paste it into the jeans, the tank top, and the collars. So delete what is there, and paste. But we also want to gain control over how much the stitching is popping from the base material and what color we have of the top stitching. And to do that, we will duplicate this image texture for the top stitching, and we will keep the connection to the mapping node. So press Ctrl-Shift-D, and then you see that this connection is kept. And let's just arrange our nodes a bit. So we move the output node to the right, and then we can take the principal BSDF and the displacement, move it here, and then press SX to align them on the X axis. We can have the normal map and the bump node aligned, SX, and the image textures also aligned, SX, like this. Now we're gonna use this top stitch image texture to take control of the color of the top stitches. The way to do that is to add a mix color node, Shift A, and then we plug the base color into A, and the top stitch image texture into the factor. Now you can set the color of your top stitches here, choose any color, and then you plug the result into the base color. And temporarily, I will choose a very strong color just so you can see the result. Now you may see a slight tint of the color you chose here, but that's not enough. We want to gain full control of the color, and I will show you the reason why we don't gain full control and how to fix it. So press Ctrl, Shift, and click the top stitch displacement image texture. So now when we preview the image texture here, we see that everything that is not top stitching is black, and everything that is supposed to be top stitching is white. However, this white value is not fully white, it's some kind of gray. And if we have a gray value here, the mix node will not fully convert those values to red. It will just use some kind of middle value between the original color and the color you choose. So what we will have to do is to compress all the values that are not black up to fully white. And the way we can do that is to add a map range node. And we put the map range in between the image texture and the mix color node. And then we will have to change the from max value to something like 0.1. So now everything that is not black will basically be compressed up to white. So press Ctrl, Shift, and click the map range to preview it. And this is what it looks like. So now if we go back to preview the principal BSDF, you see that it has converted all the top stitching to red. You can get an even more contrasty look by reducing this value further to something like 0.01, but in my opinion that gets almost unrealistic, so I will keep the 0.1. And now I will change this value to something that is white with a little bit of brownish in it. So now we have created a node setup for the jacket, and I want the exact same one on the collars, so we can just copy this one, go into the collars, delete the collar setup, and then paste the jacket one. So now we have the same stitching also here on the collar. And I also want the stitching on the jeans and the tank top, but there I want another color. But we can still copy the node group, Ctrl C, and we go to the jeans, and we can zoom in somewhere where we have the stitching, and they are not so visible right now. So let's delete what is there, paste our new stitching, and here we see it, but I don't want the brown. So for the jeans, I want to change this one to fully white, like this. And I want the same for the tank top, so I will copy the one from the jeans over to the tank top. Now I think we have come as far as we can with the materials from Marvelous Designer. In the next videos we are going to add some details and accessories to our avatar, and then touch up the materials in Blender. We're gonna create this leather material, add textures both to the jacket and the jeans, add details like a ring, a cube and chain link, earrings, and these glasses. And on top of that, we're gonna add some tattoos to the character and also some hairs to increase the realism.
Like, subscribe, and share this tutorial with your friends. See you in the next video.